Okay, so we are going to be live. Awesome. I think we are live. So I'm going to just make it quiet here and here, so we don't hear any double things. So, okay. Let me just see here. All right. I'm just ask people if can you hear us and see us? Oh, hi, Kathy. You here? We are here. Can you hear us? Anna, can you say something?
No, I'm so glad you're here.
Kathy, can you hear Anna and myself? Do we sound okay? Let us know, please, but I hope it's going to be all right. So I'm just going to introduce you, Anna, and we give people a couple of minutes to arrive, and also to people who will rewatch. Yes and yes. Okay, we can be seen, we can be heard. Perfect. Thank you, Kathy. So welcome, everybody. This is Inspired Tarot Map with Ana Cortez. And hello, Anna. It's so lovely to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you too.
Cool. You can hear us loud and clear. Perfect. Anna, we just realized this of a camera that I've had a deck of your playing cards published by US Games in 2005. And I think I have purchased it at some point in 2000, early 2000. And I think I have been following you since then and following your work, following your interesting approach. I always felt like I loved how you look, how you always show up with your little gloves and you just came across like very alive, artistic, and very creative in your approach to divination. So I'm really excited to have you on my Inspired Tarot and to
It's a
welcome.
pleasure to be here.
I have a glass of wine to cheer you on, and cheers to everybody here. It's a red type of evening, so hello. So Ana Cortez, for anybody who doesn't know Anna, you an author of The Doors of Somlipith. No. Good?
You were so close.
Somlipith.
There you
Oh,
go.
you have to say it. Sorry, Anna.
Somlipid.
Somlipith. The Doors of Somlipith. It's a deck of playing cards that I don't have, but Anna will show us some cards if you guys don't know it. This is the newest version of Anna's deck of playing cards. It's beautiful. It's been published by Schiffer.
Yes.
Yeah, by Schiffer with a gorgeous companion book, not booklet, book with a lot of information, with all these like golden foils. And I don't know if you guys know it. Anna, show the box just in case people maybe know it. But yeah, I like me and go, how do you say somlipith? It's not so difficult now, but yeah, I had to ask you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really like it's spelled.
Yeah. Only if you're not a native speaker, then you
Yes.
like too many consonants.
You should hear the 1,000,000 ways people butcher that word. It's amazing how many wrong ways you can say that name.
I feel it's like with my name, Anna.
Oh.
When it was like Kazia, Kasia, Kasia, funny. So yeah, Anna has created this one, and you also, Anna, have created the playing card oracles. And right now you said it's not published in this size anymore, it's smaller. And this one was by US Game Systems. And I really like this one too. It has less colors, but always like gorgeous art and just interesting deck of playing cards. You also a creator, and that happened, I think, this year, right? The Academy, the Black Ace Academy, that you opened it. that
Yes,
you're the creator of the Divination Academy, where you teach
yes,
how to read with your decks, specifically with the Doors of Somlipith.
yes.
Got it. So I remember, Anna, that I was always drawn to you because of your style of teaching. You're a natural teacher. You explain everything really well, and your passion, for divination, like, is just very contagious and comes across. And also your field of expertise. I always wanted to ask you if you ever had any other job, let's call it a normal job, or was divination always it? How did you get into divination?
Well, I was young, my father, because my father was deeply involved, but it was just something weird that dad was doing for a long time
Mm.
until his gypsy girlfriends, I mean, he had just this whole sort of interesting lineup of girlfriends that would show me what was happening with my father's cards. And they would teach me what they had learned from him. But again, it was fascinating to me because I had grown up playing cards and had never considered, the mystic side. But I was young and I didn't know where my life was going to go. And it certainly didn't mean I was going to be reading cards for a profession, or teaching cards. And I went to college and it was just a complete failure. I wasn't really drawn to anything. And the cards were the one thing that was just consistently in my world. And then when my father and I started working together um, to really develop and discover uh, what was going on with these images that he was receiving, then my whole life changed. We
Mm.
started writing, documenting what we were receiving. And that first book took 7 years to write. So I was working part time, writing part time, and, I've never looked back.
Yeah, that's really, I think the influence of your father is always, like, you always speak of it. Do you think he had how sometimes in divination communities, like, everybody wants to be psychic and like get access to all these like other words? Do you think that, because I always think it's not an easy, not an easy skill to live with?
Right.
Because you're so, I don't know, like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, looking at your dad, he probably, like, we would call him psychic, right? Because that's like he was receiving these messages, not psychic in the sense that he would like predict your future, but he
Exactly.
was kind of in communication with the other side, it seems so.
He was
How would
very
you?
much in communication with the other side, and it was just a part of him. And that we would talk about things like that. Um, it was just normal conversation for us, for him to be telling me about these spirits and intelligences that he was having all these sort of interesting encounters with. I mean, it was just innumerable, just continually all these different, and he was so very talented at astral projection. He would set up experiments in his bedroom, get into bed, at astral project, interact with the things he had set up in his bedroom, go back to bed, wake up and check to see how reality had interacted with the astral. He was just very almost in and out of his body, very naturally, and encountering all these otherworldly intelligences.
So has he ever worked with tarot or any, like, he was always just drawn to playing cards? Or how was it?
Yes. Well, he started painting the playing cards, these images, very innocently. He really just started painting them because he loved playing cards. And he felt that the modern decks had become sadly generic. And he wanted to bring back the life in playing cards. So, and then it took over. Once these images, and he painted them huge.
Oh,
They
he
just,
did.
yeah, they were enormous. And they started just, once, I mean, he connected to something and he couldn't stop painting, and he was just set out to do court cards. But he wound up spending years in the basement, and he'd never painted before.
Mm,
So he was just, you know, like connecting to another world that came through
yeah.
the playing cards. And so that kicked off this obsession that lasted for the rest of his life. And no, he never, I mean, he knew of tarot and he was a brilliant card historian, but always his love was the playing cards.
And you inherited it.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you also if you use any other divination systems, like you obviously also know tarot, and I don't know if you use tarot decks at all in your kind of private work.
No,
Not
I
really.
don't. I have a couple of oracle decks, but the playing cards have got me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the master of the playing cards.
There's
That's
a
true.
there's a world there that people aren't aware of. And I feel like it's this continual journey of discovery,
It's so
so it's
interesting because in
exciting.
Poland, when I meet like Romani people, like the sometimes now maybe not so often, but we always used to have women with playing cards on the markets, or like a
Mm,
different squares. Like, do you want a reading? Do you want a reading? And they never use tarot ever. I've never seen them with tarot. I always
wow,
see them with playing cards, never with the tarot.
interesting.
Yeah, and I think like they could, read a lot of things, and they were such great like observers of humans, like they were so street smart, like they
Yes.
knew who, like that's just amazing to watch. Yeah. So Anna, tell us more about your decks. Maybe tell us more about the Doors of Somlipith because it's the
Sure.
newer one, and like you could also mention maybe what's the difference between them. Is it just the artwork basically, or like, please
Yeah.
enlighten us?
Well, these are different bodies of work from my father that, together they span decades of time. So he was always connecting in and bringing through slightly different imagery for different cards as he connected in again. And I think that's really exciting because even he wasn't dogmatic about the associations for each card. He would literally check in, and whatever he received, it would come out on the canvas. So the different decks have slight variations, because it's a very alive work that we were doing. So,
Yeah, I
and
wanted to
that's
ask you also, that's a very rude question, but have you ever thought that your father is crazy when you were younger or something? Or you were already, you had this sensitivity that you thought, oh, my father is cool. Like, how did you feel?
no, he was like so magical to me.
Yeah,
Like I remember when he painted Mother Goose, the old woman riding on a goose
yeah.
through the cosmos. He painted her just enormous, and it hung over my sister's crib. And he was always reading us all these fantastic fairy tales. We had so many wonderful books. And
Mhm.
he just was such a curious human being, and he loved, you know, the way people think, and he loved stories, and he loved imagination, and he was so alive that
Mm.
way. And I always just saw him as someone super magical, and I was in awe of him, really.
Yeah, wonderful. I think a lot of us, yeah, miss this element from our parents. It seems like I remember, in communist Poland, really, that type of like magic was only carried through the folklore, but anything, that was a bit too spiritual or religious was a big, no by the communists because it's, yeah, even religion or anything wasn't really like allowed or it wasn't something that like everybody went to church as like a protest, really. It was when everybody went to church, but it was interesting. And I think in our culture in general, that enchantment that we find through using different divination tools, I think that's why we want to use them, because we search for this like connection and magic. And when the artwork comes in and color, it's always like just life is so much better with it. So go, people. Get tarot decks, learn, and playing card decks, learn to use them because it's so beautiful. So Anna, if you were to compare the two decks,
Mhm.
you said they kind of spanning for a long time, but now in your Black Ace Academy, where you teach divination, you teach how to use the cards. You don't really teach with this deck, but we still can probably learn how to use any playing card decks, right?
Yeah, right.
Can
And
you
there
tell us a
are,
little bit more about the school?
yeah, certainly. Well, in the school, I do have videos, encouraging people to use standard playing card decks, because the playing card decks are the magic, and you can tap into this world through any 52 card deck. And I created the academy just this year because I want people to have a way to really immerse themselves in the study, through a community, through videos, through interactions, and, a living study where we can come together and really focus our attention to really immerse ourselves in this world, because it will transform you. I mean, it will accelerate your life. And I feel like it has put me on the path of destiny,
Mm.
truly. But it helps to have each other. We need each other. To study in isolation is so challenging.
And harder. Yeah, I'm part of your like I'm your student, and I can say that like the school from the part that I've been in, it's well organized. You have these shorter videos, like we can learn at our own pace. But I also love those extra curriculum classes that you do for members. And the recent one with Dennis was like so cool. I really enjoyed it. So I think the next one is you are going to run it, right? From what I saw. So yeah, if anybody's interested, I'm going to link the information. They can take a look. You can, guys, if you want to learn about playing cards, you definitely with the right person here. And I highly recommend Anna as a teacher because I think you have such passion for it. I respond to it, like I'm naturally like, I want to learn from you because you're so excited about it and you have so much knowledge. It's beyond, like, seriously.
Well, after all these decades, I mean, I've been learning this since I was in my teens, and it's just still so exciting, and there's still discoveries. I mean, it's a living world that we are tapping into through the playing cards, and it's real magic. I'm talking about real magic.
So let's go a bit deeper into it. So tell us about it. What do you mean by real magic?
Well, it's a living world in the invisible that is there wanting to interact with us, wanting to assist us, wanting us to be our best selves, and teaching us how to regulate and manage our energy so that we can do that. It's amazing. Every time you lay cards out and you have a good reading, and it especially with two people, that interaction, just spark something. I mean, it's so affirmative that there is, you know, help and life beyond this world that we can see. And it's just like tapping into the magic of our existence. It's so uplifting.
It is. I so agree. And I think it's really like you have this one spread that you use kind of all the time with the four cards. Is
Yeah,
it okay if we share like for people to
yeah.
can you like run people through it? I can pull four cards like just so that you can tell us the
Good.
position so people can so
So
if you
that,
put like it's in the vertical line, right?
yes,
That's how we
that's right.
pull it.
Yeah.
So
So
the
there would
first
be a
one would
top
be
card. That's a 10 of diamonds, the lady of diamonds, Tendra. So if she was in the top position, you know, that would place
it
her
would be the head, right? Like the
in
top
the
position
head
is
of
like
the
the head.
yeah, it's like we make a little person out of cards. It's almost like our little voodoo doll of cards, you know,
Yeah.
where we see the energy of of the head, the consciousness, you know, the connection to spirit. And then the next card, go ahead and draw another card. Yes, is the throat. Whatever card you pull becomes the position of the way we communicate, what we're saying and thinking, and how we connect. That
Oh
would be the
gosh,
heart. Look
I
at
could
you in
shuffle
the
this.
diamonds.
We just
Wow.
keep pulling diamonds.
Love it. I love it. Diamonds is a suit of light and prosperity. So this card, the third card, is moving down the little person made of cards. This is the torso, the heart, the reproductive organs, you know, sort of the heart of the matter. And I love that card for that
What
position.
does how would you like interpret this card? I know we don't have like any questions or anything, but like how would you interpret it for this position? Just for people to get a sense, you know, like of what you can read from a simple playing card. You know what I mean? I think I lost Anna. It's my internet, Anna's internet. Hi everyone. I don't know. Can you hear me? Is this me who's who's gone offline, or is it Anna who's gone offline? I think it's Anna. Okay, I'm going to entertain you guys. Let's wait for Anna to reconnect. Thanks for watching. Sweet Millicent Carbuncle. Oh, what a name. You use many kinds of tools. Yeah, you use your own judgment for final decisions, of course. I love the artwork on the cards. That's awesome. Oh, thanks, Claudia. You see me. Okay, we wait for Anna. Hopefully she can come back. Cheers, guys. I've had an evening. Whew, but I'm back now. Barefoot on the Gaia path. Oh, you know Anna. Awesome. Yeah, her decks are great. That's wonderful. Yeah. Anna is frozen. Anna, yeah, you back. I wasn't sure if it's my internet or you, but like I was just chatting. Like I know you're gone.
So very
When just
relaxed about it all.
yeah, you went back home and so we got stuck on how would you interpret this, but is it the right way? Well, yeah. This particular card, let's say, what is it? Eight of diamonds, yes?
Eight of
Um,
diamonds.
in
It's a
the
very,
heart
yes,
position.
the torso. Yes, the heart. This is a wonderful card. It's the number 8 in the suit associated with fire and light and consciousness. So 8 is can be very different depending on the suit, but the 8 of diamonds is in general an extremely fortunate card. It's seeds that have been sown finally coming to fruition, success, and, prosperity, abundance, and things to be grateful for, you know?
Yeah. I can't
Mm.
believe we just keep drawing the, and I shuffle this, and I think it's like me trying to suck out the knowledge out of you. Come on, Anna, tell me, tell me. All right,
Amazing.
the last
And
one would be the feet, like feet.
no, look at
Oh
this.
my God, no, come on. It's not, you see, this is the bottom of the deck, so it's not like that's not it. But okay.
That is a remarkable layout.
Wow.
All in sequence. We could have won a lot of money on
You
that.
guys are witnessing some magic here. It's
Yeah.
not, it wasn't
Wow.
planned.
And that's
Wow.
a sword of truth. It's just a beautiful spread. And it's making a ladder up to the heavens, up
Because
to the,
this is the like the highest kind of the highest in the ladder.
yes. Yeah.
So it would
Well,
just like go up. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
A ladder of light.
How interesting. Well, the meeting of two amazing souls, Anna and you, obviously, your cards just like greet you. Like you the top of the ladder, and then there is us, like,
Wow.
wow, okay.
If I had pulled that for someone, that would be unbelievable. Well,
Yeah.
and you just did, and it is unbelievable. It's beautiful.
Wow, so that's amazing. And I think, that fascinated me when in the school, sometimes when in your videos you just share like a simple reading, that you can get so specific with the cards. Like the specificity, how did you get there? Is it through time, through practice with reading with people, or is it something that you also receiving? Like how would you say, like, people study to get more specific, where that specificity comes from when it comes to readings? What do you think?
Right. Well, these cards speak, and they communicate. And I think that the method that has come through to accompany these images is so unlike any other method. You have to trust the method. And I'm always encouraging people, as you know, to be very childlike,
Yeah.
and the techniques that I teach in the school, that my father and I received, um, will allow you to become very specific. And the insights are just sometimes so unexpected, like no every card has such a living presence that it's constantly teaching me how the variety of ways that it can express itself. So I think you have to stay really open and very childlike and trust the techniques, and they're not complicated. It's like,
No.
you know, they're not complicated, but they're different for sure.
Yeah, and I think in some ways with the playing cards, I think people often ask it a little bit like with Tarot de Marseille, because there is like no image. But in your decks, you get kind of a little help, like the visual help as well, that can get you a little bit more
Yes.
into. Do you also, like, I'm going to just ask, those questions, like, do you also work with numerology when you work with the cards? Is it something that you also pay attention to, not just the image? And if you work with numerology, do you just have like attached meaning, like 4 is always this and this and this, or do you also kind of, depending on the question, or like depending on
Yeah.
the.
Because numbers are alive too, so I want to be the student. I think as soon as you say, I know what this number means, I know what this card means, and it's always this, I think you're setting yourself up for not getting what you can out of your card spread. So I always
Yeah.
ask to learn. I always ask to see something, to please show me, the best that I can see in this spread. And I'm willing to see it in a new way all the time.
Yeah.
So the numbers definitely play into, for example, the images on the card, you know, and the elements also play into the images. So you get a lot of help because all of the different components really fortify each other. Like
Yeah.
this is a beautiful example, the two, it's a card of relationship. It's a card of self and not self. And we can see the one expression of the number two very clearly through the imagery on this card.
Yeah. Yeah. Like just to give like, a comparison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are beautiful examples. I mean, the images really express the essence of the number two,
Yeah.
as it manifests through the heart suit, through the feeling self, as it manifests through the spade element, the earth suit, it's just such a beautiful language.
Yeah, it is. And I can't agree more. I'm a Sagittarius, tropical Sagittarius, and I just get bored really quickly. So, like, I love challenges, but if I have to do a month-long challenge, like sometimes on Instagram, like by the 10th day, I already like, oh, it's like next. And I remember, like, I've done lots of different jobs too. But when I got really into tarot and astrology, I thought like, oh my God, I will just never fucking get bored. This is amazing because as you said, this is living and it
Mhm.
meets you when you are. So you can start just reading,
Right,
numerologically, or you can just look at something, and as much as you will still get something out of it,
that's
but
right.
you can go forever deep. Like you will
That's
never be a master of tarot or master of playing cards. And yeah, I agree. If you say you are, God bless you. But like if you're not learning or open or childlike, it just becomes a bit dogmatic. And that's why I
exactly
find it
boring.
so refreshing, your approach. And also in tarot, like, Enrique Enriquez or Camelia Elias, or Bendorf, when they were like open reading. Tarot has no attached meanings, it's like a skeleton. You can like remake it. You can like as soon as you shuffle a deck, it's a new energy, you can just Hermit one day can be like, oh my God, I don't want to be alone, and you cry. On the other day, it can be like, thank God, like just everybody peace off and let me be. I think this is just like an inspiration and advice to any aspiring divination student that this is living and you can always get something out of using divination, and it meets you where you are. If
It
you're a
does.
beginner, that's awesome. Don't be discouraged. Oh my God, these guys know so much, and vice versa, because it's always gives you something that you need at the moment. So mm, I love divination.
Isn't it lovely?
I love it. This red wine makes me love it even more. Okay, like I would like to maybe ask you, Anna, about before we like sign off and let people go, like I would like to ask you about the school, because there is a couple of versions, right? Like I'm in this like I'm doing the self-paced course and I can access also the live classes, but you also have like a membership when people can do I get it right?
You're
Can you
a
explain?
member. You're a member. There's really just the membership, and with the membership, you have access to everything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I misread it, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
when you join the school,
Hmm.
you get access to the self-paced courses because there's different ones, and
Hmm.
you get access to the live classes as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And
There's
that's really
like
cool.
5 different courses at this point in time that are still growing and building. the
Yeah.
different areas of study within cartomancy. We've also brought in collaborating people for the live classes. So we've studied related but diverse topics, and we'll
Yeah.
be adding to that. And also, of course, there's a community forum where people can connect with each other and build conversations and other things. So
Yeah. Oh, I can volunteer for one of the classes. I can run something like maybe learn from oppositions, tarot and astrology mix. If you
very
ever
good.
need another teacher for one of class, I can do it. I'd love
Well,
to.
we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's do.
Dennis was amazing, by the way.
He
Can you
Dennis,
just tell us what he did, just so people understand, like the classes are not just about playing cards per se.
right. Well, my vision is that this academy is like going to be like a Hogwarts in the ethers, like a place of higher learning, right?
Cheers to that.
Cheers, thank you. So Dennis, like you, was a student from a long time ago, and he discovered geomancy through my first book, The Playing Card Oracles, and went on to become an a West African priest in West African
Yeah.
geomancy, which is called Ifa. And so he's an ordained in a couple different kinds of West African divination systems. And so he gave a class in the academy, 2 hours introduction, a 2 hour introduction
It was so fun. Yeah.
to geomancy, West African geomancy, as it applies to our card work, like combining the two together. And
Yeah.
so that was amazing.
It was a great class. I really enjoyed it. And I'm so glad I joined. It was like late in Europe,
Oh
but
my
still
gosh.
bearable. But yeah, kind of
I
end of
knew
the
you
day.
were up in the middle of the night, and I thought, wow, Cassia is a trooper, man. She's hardcore.
Yay.
I like this woman.
So what's the next class? Can you tell us? Because it's coming. When is it coming?
November 16th.
November 16th. Yeah.
And I've decided to teach that one because we need to dive into the 36 gates, what I call the 36 gates, which is the new treasure in the new book. It's the new piece that came through in the latest book. I really thought I knew most of the major stuff related to playing cards. I mean, I've been teaching for so long, and then surprise, when I was writing this book, a whole new wing of the knowledge just dropped in, and I call it the 36 gates. And so it works so beautifully with playing cards, and it brings in the sun and really brings astrology in and relates it to all the time codes that are in playing cards that really make them so special and so life transforming. So
Wow.
I want people to not fear this whole topic within our study. It's really can be so simple, and I just want to bring it to people and get people excited about it and start working with it, because it is so, you talk about the magic in our work. I mean, there's so much synchronicity and
Yeah.
just so much magic that comes through by adding this new piece into the work we've already been doing. So
Yeah, that's so interesting. Can you make it like so that Europeans can join not at midnight, like just 10 p.m. The latest, please?
it'll be at 2 p.m. my time. So I think that's 9 p.m.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, that's very good. Cool. I'll be there. I will be there.
All right.
And anything else, Anna? Maybe you guys have any questions? Is
Yeah,
there
I'd
any?
love to take any questions people
Yeah,
have.
if there are any questions, we can wait because there's a little delay on YouTube, on Instagram. I can tell you that somebody wrote here that they stumbled upon this and so excited to see Anna here, that she was
Oh,
never drawn to playing cards until Doors of Somlipith, and now in she's or they are, I'm not sure, in the world Anna shared, deep in the world Anna shared, and it's only way I use playing cards. Love.
yay. I'm so happy. So happy.
Yes. And then Sweet Millicent Carbuncle, I love the name. They said that they love artwork on the cards as well.
Oh, great.
So if
Yeah.
there is any questions, guys, ask now
That's
or be silenced forever. No, I'm joking. But if you want to ask Anna anything, please do. Do I have any more questions? Any plans for the future, Anna? Just developing the academy or anything else that comes through you?
right now I'm so focused on, growing the academy, continuing to add the new material and collaborate with people. So just bringing it to people this year is
Yeah,
really where my head is right now.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I highly recommend guys to go and check it out. No questions appear, Anna. Nothing.
I can't believe it.
Somebody ask a question, please. No pressure.
No
But you're
pressure.
dealing with Eastern European, so you better guys behave. There is no question right now. If there is any questions for like if people rewatch, later on, then we will answer. I will get back to you maybe if there is any important questions or fun questions, and then maybe you can answer, then I can comment
Perfect.
as a reply. But right now we are not going to like force you to ask questions, but you're missing out, guys. You're missing out. Anna, do you want to say anything else? Did we miss anything? I
Not
still
that
don't want to let you go. I'm kind of. Please ask a
well,
question.
we can do this again.
That's
Yeah.
right. We can do it again. Exactly. We can maybe even have a more specific type of. We can do like a semi-teaching video or
Yes.
something that people can get something out of it.
Yes.
Um,
I want to look at that 7, 8, 9, 10 of diamonds spread again.
Sorry, like the sweet Millicent Carbuncle. You have to say my name as if it is a shock. My real name is Sherry Ellen for Petersdorf. Oh, that's good too. You rock with the names. Sorry, Anna, what did you say? The last thing?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh,
We'll
sorry.
we'll have to look at some spreads.
Oh, yeah, it would be great, right? So maybe Anna, for just to say goodbye, should we will you do a little reading? Like I pull cards. How many should I pull? Two, one, three?
Yeah, 3.
Was as a goodbye message for everybody who stuck around.
Okay,
And
so this is the message that you need to hear if you're
yes,
watching. Yeah. Yes.
inspiration.
3 cards.
Three cards. All right. Three cards. One, two, and you. Three. The first one. Oh,
Ah, we've seen that one before.
the second
Ah, I
one.
love it.
And oh,
Oh, isn't that beautiful? Wow, look at that. So we have these 2 cards of the number 2. One is all about division. It's called the enemies. And aren't we feeling so much of that in our world? And then we have on the other end of the spectrum, the other 2, the 2 in hearts, the 2 in love, the 2 that is forgiving and that is willing to be vulnerable with other people, right? And
yeah,
then in between we have this fire, the ace of diamonds, the ace of fire, that it's like we have to walk through the fire to go from one side to the other. Yes. And it's a journey of bravery to traverse. to get from one side to the other. And so, but we see there's treasure on the inside of that diamond in the center. It's like
Yeah.
a gemstone in there. So I would encourage anyone watching to take that journey, to explore what's on the other side, no matter what kind of relationship you find yourself in with yourself, with the world, with someone or something that's happening in your life. You know, it's really just a slight turn of the dial to start expressing that same energy, maybe in a slightly different way, maybe in a more heartfelt way. But we have to be brave and fear not the dragons, right?
Mm.
So that's a little bit.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. How interesting, right? Like that this division and yeah, just like facing, I always think like, you know, when we divide it like this, that each side really thinks they're like 100% right. And yet the truth is like, what is
Right.
the truth
It's
then?
totally separate from them. There's no common ground with that
Yeah.
two of spades. But in the two of hearts, they see they're bound together and they know that they're two sides of the same coin, and there's nothing to hide, you know. We're just willing to to be completely ourselves. And
How interesting is this image? Like so untypical for the, you know, like the kind of two of cups when you think like tarot or something, you know, when they kind of bound, but it's like a unity also. But is it like it seems like, you know, you can't you can't go anywhere. Where are they reaching for? It's interesting. Oh,
yeah, it is.
like it.
Passion is complicated, you know.
That's true. It's never comes with just like one thing.
Yeah.
Somebody said my question about cards is why people invoke God to answer. God to answer. Um, I don't know if people invoke. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I guess you can invoke a higher power, you know. Do you think that that's what the question is about?
I'm not sure. My question about cards is why people invoke God to answer. I think I think it probably depends on the definition of God that each has, right? Because God, it's quite loaded religiously. It's very
Mhm.
connected, in my mind, at least, as a maybe not a native speaker, to religion. But
Yes.
in some way, God is also omnipresent, omnipotent, everything there is. So if you're an animist, God can be everything, the world,
Yeah. I
cosmos,
think it's, you know, we're
body.
seeking for intelligence that maybe helps us tap into something that we're missing, you know, whether it's something in ourselves, a new way of looking at something, or we're tapping into help in some form, you know. I mean, the process of divination is very mysterious, you know.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
also think if somebody is religious, I totally respect people believing what they believe. You know, I was raised Catholic for most of my life. So if I was truly religious like this, that I could say, you know, I'm a Catholic, I would still use my cards and to connect with God the way I see it through my Catholic lens. I just never could understood that whole tarot is devil and astrology is devil and anything. Like it's just a way of communing, right? It's a way of conversation. And I'm sure God loves it. I think God loves a good image. Or the goddess for that matter. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because Bible says that is evil. I'm an atheist. Yeah, Bible says it's evil, but I mean, yeah, Bible says it's evil, but who wrote Bible?
I mean, I think I have a pretty good radar for when things are evil. And I've been doing this for so long And I can tell you that if you go into a divination ritual with a poor state of mind or a fearful state of mind or expecting something from the devil, then that's a whole different thing. And
Yeah.
that's not what we're talking about.
Because I also know of many stories. I had a teacher here in Poland, and he had an episode when he thought, like, he was teaching tarot for a long time, then he dropped and went all like back to the church, and then came out again and had like comparison, I guess, of both, when he was thinking, this is evil, what have I done? Like, like the and it's interesting to watch, I think, this thought process. I think everybody has to answer this for themselves, because I
Yeah,
guess he told me about a lot of stories when people actually felt like, they needed exorcism because they couldn't make any decision without, I don't know, using a tarot deck, or they were really scared of it, or that, produced some sense of like slavery nearly. So, if you're one of those people, don't fucking touch divination, just go to church. Then no, it's not for you. It's not for everybody, maybe. I don't know, but don't do it.
if you have fears about it, you don't need to do it. Absolutely.
Exactly, because I think it's really important. And probably that's why, when you do readings for yourself, and as you said, or for anybody else for that matter, but for yourself, it usually works well when you're too close to the subject or too emotionally involved.
Mhm.
Cards just, I mean, they may still tell you what you need to know, but you fucking won't interpret it right. Like, you'll be all over the place, and then you're like, actually, that didn't mean this. It
Yeah.
actually showed okay. But it's interesting that, yeah, when we emotionally not grounded, it's
Mhm.
yeah, it's part of the work and part of who we become as humans, how we grow, I guess. That's why
Yeah,
I think it meets you at different levels. And sometimes it doesn't have to meet you. This is also not for everybody. Not everybody has to read cards. There's other ways to be magical in life. You don't have to do this if this is kind of doesn't sit right with you. That's perfect.
absolutely. And I always use them for the purpose of self-knowledge, you know,
Same.
to understand. And I think the intention is everything, you have to be clear about that. So
Yeah. Anna,
yeah.
this wine never tasted better. Must be the company. I wish you were closer so I can like bring you a glass
Oh,
and
that would be fun, wouldn't it?
okay, well, thank you so much for having a chat with us. And thank you, everybody who was tuning in live, and for everybody who will rewatch this. This is Ana Cortez, and I really advise you to take a look at the Academy if you are interested in divination at all. You don't have to sign up, do anything about it. We're not doing it to like force you to join. Just like if you love it, go and take a look. And Anna, I see you at the next class anyway. I'm
Yes.
excited.
And
And
people should go to my website,
I
anacortez.com.
will link it all
Find
below.
everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I will link it all below so it will be clickable. You can just click. And at the same token, I think it would be awesome if we maybe did another meeting more like pick a subject, like a little teaching, so that maybe people who don't know the way you teach can get like a little taster of, how it is to study with Anna. But
That'd be
yeah.
fun. I
Yeah,
love
thank you so much. It was lovely to see you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Bye bye. It was lovely to have you. See you guys.
that.
So I'm going to stop this live now.